Controlling what your partner wears, who they see and limiting access to money could soon become a crime in Queensland. The state government is establishing an independent task force to consider legislating coercive control a year after the Camp Hill tragedy in which a woman and her children died.
On February 19, 2020, the lives of Sue and Lloyd Clark changed forever.
It's just as hard, if not harder. You realise they're not coming home.
Their daughter Hannah and her 3 young children were murdered in a domestic violence incident in Brisbane's south. 6-year-old Aaliyah, 4-year-old Leanna and 3-year-old Trey died instantly when their father set the family car alight while they were inside. Hannah was able to climb out of the burning vehicle. She died in hospital later that day after telling first responders what had happened. The death's a brutal end to many years of controlling behaviour.
People don't realise, Hannah didn't realise for years that it was domestic violence. You know, because he never heard it. Well, never hit her, he harmed her mentally, but she always said to me, but he never hit me, Mum.
The Clarks have long campaigned to criminalise coercive control. Now the Premier is taking action.
We'll be establishing a really strong task force made up of experts to be chaired by Margaret McMurdo.
The group will include legal experts, domestic and family violence service providers and people with lived experience.
This was a commitment that we took to the election. And let's be clear, coercive control has only been legislated in a handful of countries across the world: Scotland, England, Ireland and Wales. So we are the first state in the country to legislate against coercive control.
The task force will be established by next month and it will be required to report to the government in October, with the hope of introducing a bill to Parliament early next year.
What we'd also like to see, and what I would like to ask the government today, is that they also make it part of a broader legislation piece that also covers the elderly and children across our broader community.
I do have some reservations of how it would look if it was just a standalone criminal offence that's not part of a wider review of the criminal justice system.
Advocates agree it will be a slow process that must work in practice, not just in theory. Julia Bradley, Sky News, Brisbane.